20 seconds.
I'm sure that's it.
Worth noting is that the final tribe, they do ban out the silencers. Like this hero is coming back into the meta.
Yeah, it's curious, because do they really expect the silencer mid? I guess there is the synergy with the Drow Ranger aura, or potentially just putting the Prophet off lane and having a silencer support, but it's still questionable. Right, and I absolutely hate this pick. I spoke to you about how they needed a playmaker and something that can stop Drow Ranger from farming. Well, Legion is certainly not it. This hero needs items before she can start pressuring. And by the time she has 2 items, Drow Ranger is 6 slotted.
10 seconds
Yeah, so I understand why they've picked the Legion Commander. They've picked it because it's one of the few heroes that can lane well versus the Nature's Prophet. You know, you get the overwhelming odds on all the treants. It's doing more damage. You have, you know, the regen coming from your moment of courage, is it? But I think you're right. They need to be able to do more and quicker. So even though Legion Commander might be fine in the lane, Drow Ranger is still gonna have a great time in that jungle.
And I know that it's one of Zibe's favorite heroes, and I know he's a beast on it, but at the same time, it's just gonna be so hard to get that foot in the door to start getting dual kills. If they get a good lane with Enigma somehow, and maybe get a few kills in lane, one way or another, they could have a really good shot at this. But at the same time, it's gonna be super hard to achieve. And this Bungo just makes it even harder, because he's just gonna be able to create so much space and CS Sven. Generally, this is a very good matchup against Drow Ranger, just because of the playstyles they have. If Drow is farming jungle, Sven can do the same and slightly faster, and then hit a peak earlier and start running at her. But there is a lot of control on Secret, so it's quite scary.
I mean, you did say you wanted someone who's skirmish. That's a nice simple stun. He'll get a blink tag with a lot of burst damage on top of the Drow, so
I'm fairly sure it's mid Bungo. It fits the tempo of this game really well. It's gonna create a lot of space for Nisha to just farm up on the jungle. And as a result, the final tribe does have a lot of flexibility in their mid pick, because most heroes have a good matchup against Bungo. But yeah, I feel like the final tribe just really needs something that can pressure a Drow Ranger from the moment she starts jungling. And I can't really wrap my head around which hero would be best for that situation.
So the final tribe, they're coming up to their last pick of the draft, Team Secret. It does seem like all these big teams are favoring last pick. Like they really just want to get the last word on that draft. So the final tribe, they need a mid hero. You want someone who fights a lot, right? Coming from the final tribe. Do you have any suggestions about who that might be?
I would personally kind of... okay, Sniper... Oh, this is not that. I was gonna say Monkey King, but it got first phase banned. So we see Sniper. This is a hero with some pretty good matchups. It's not particularly good against Pungo, because Pungo can...
That makes a lot of sense, but I am a bit worried about the sniper pick because I know in my pubs when I pick a sniper without last pick, I'm just gonna get abused by Queen of Pain or Eve. Actually, I don't know if Medusa that abusive, but the Drow Medusa combination. What am I saying? It's a classic, isn't it?
So it's gonna be a mid Drow Ranger, offlane Pungo. This looks very nice actually. I'm not sure how much I like the Dusa, because Drow and Dusa, they fulfill a very similar purpose, and I feel like just having a Drow Ranger would be enough to secure this game in the later stages. But at the same time, how are they gonna kill Dusa? Sniper is a pretty good matchup against Dusa because he can outrange the Dusa ulti and just keep right-clicking. But at the same time, it's just questionable.
They have the answers, I feel, for the sniper. You know, the Pangolier, it's an offlane Pangolier. He's going to create the havoc on the backlines. Poppy even might get vision with that TP in. And all meanwhile, you know, no one else is going to be able to do anything against this.
It's only Pango, though. If they can somehow address the Pango, it looks to me like Sniper is going to have a pretty much a free fight, mostly.
We did see in the, you know, the first few days of the new Drow Ranger with the new ultimate, people like CCNC were building a blink tagger on the hero. Do you think that's still a viable thing to do?
I feel like the moment you commit and you blink in on a sniper, you're just gonna get completely destroyed by heroes like Sven. So I wouldn't really expect it. Maybe at some point you will buy a mobility item, but for the most part I feel like mid one is just gonna build basic items like Dragonlance, Wraith Bands, stuff like that.
Okay. So we're just waiting to get into the game, and so you think the drafts, you favor Team Secret a bit, but if Chessie's able to really take over, think able to do it?
I still favor Team Secret, but I feel like both last picks are pretty questionable, the Sniper and the Dusa. Then again, I'm not Poppy, so who am I? It's the best pick possible, Dusa. My goodness, amazing.
I mean, Poppy is the mind of Dota, really, isn't he? Like, you can trace a lot of the previous winners back to that legendary any side of Team. You know, like Kuro played on Team Secret. Oh, what's interesting?
Dusa Nisha is gonna go mid, and mid one is gonna be moving towards the offlane.
Oh, I've previously thought of Sniper as a counter for the mid lane. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. So I expected Drow to go mid. But
yeah,
which makes sense because the guy is called Bloody Mid One. But no.
I mean, maybe after this game he's gonna have to rename himself Safe Lane One.
Or Offlane One.
Oh, as the case may be.
But this is interesting. Apparently they think that the Drow just has a way better matchup against Sven, which I can agree with. Like, it might be a slightly better matchup to have Drow against Sniper, but you really don't want to have Dusa against Sven. Because she just gets completely run down. Like, you just get one stun and Dusa's gonna lose either all of her mana or her life.
Bosk, I don't know what that's about. Over here, Yapsor with the ward here. They're just gonna lay a bit of damage into Frost. Frost does have the stun. But nice Blitz Boss, they have the Impale, but I don't think they're gonna have enough damage on it. This is just a harass.
Yep. And it's curious to see that mid one is one of those Drow players who actually takes their precision aura level 1. It used to be the case where you always took Frost Arrows, because otherwise you gave like 2 damage to your ranged heroes. But 7 attack speed level 1 isn't too bad when you have 4 ranged heroes.
Yeah, it's something I always kind of forget about is like how hard a Nature's Prophet hits. And just with that bonus attack speed, you know, it's going to be even more annoying in the lane.
Yeah, for sure, and that lights them too, my goodness.
This tri-lane is probably where all the action is going to be happen, but before it really goes down, can you just tell me, this top lane, this looks like it's going to be very good for Zibby, isn't it?
Yeah, for the most part, Legion has a really nice time in a 1v1 matchup against the melee hero. Pango can get some stuff done if he gets some lucky shots and just trades effectively, but overall I would favor Legion in this matchup. And I hope he gets some good items to start the ball rolling for the TFT.
Yeah, so this mid lane, we did talk about it, and it does see that Chessie is doing pretty damn well. It seems like he has tanked a snake or two, but careful.
I feel like it's gonna get easier and easier for Chessie when he gets more points into take game.
Yeah, once he can outrange that snake, doesn't have to stand near the range creep anymore. It's gonna be so tough for this Medusa.
So it looks like Secret is doing a pretty good job capitalizing on this Enigma pick. We see this more and more, just tri lanes against a team that has an Enigma, because they know that if the Enigma comes to the tri lane, they're just gonna destroy the tri lane, and if he doesn't, well, it's a tri lane against no lane, so Frost is gonna suffer.
Yeah. Have you noticed where Hanskin's items went? Like, who has he given the ring to? Oh, okay, I found it. It's on top lane. It's on Zibit, actually. One person who I think wouldn't need the regen. Oh, Yaps over here. I think he might be first blood. It's a nice impale, but Puppey actually blocking him with his own tree hand. They need one more right click, and Era is able to get the first blood here. Puppey probably going to be able to TP away safely. There is no Stormhammer. The cooldown just slightly too long.
I wouldn't even have minded seeing the Ring of Health on Sniper, who is doing a pretty good job chasing down Nisha, but isn't quite gonna get it.
Yeah, it's a Puppey even TP'd in to help out his mid laner.
Looks like once again lanes are going pretty reasonable for TFT.
The one thing is, mid one does seem to be having a grip at the bottom lane. Frost even using that stun just to be able to get away safely. Right click.
I feel like for Enigma teams you need to add up the CS of the Enigma plus the safe laner though, to see how it's going. Even though the creeps are worth a little bit less in the jungle.
Yeah, it's although, you know, talking about these mid lane creeps, Nisha does seem to be the one on top. Actually, no, I take that back. He's probably been farming up this camp and missing actual lane creep.
It's not too bad for Dusa overall. She has a bit more damage than Sniper.
So
it looks like Puppey is taking a page out of Hanskin's book. When did we come to the point in Dota where it's normal for support heroes to jungle again at 3 minutes? Can we go back in time?
I mean, I remember my pubs, and I mean, they're still like this. 4 position, you pretend you're going to be a support, and then you're just in the jungle the entire time. And Puppey, he's technically a 5, but he used to play 4, and he just loves to play so greedily.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like the last thing I'll hear before I die is gonna be something like I'll buy wards after Midas.
I can imagine that. Just you're angrily bringing wards, and your support is pinging Midas recipe. No, only 5,000 gold away. I know it's not. Sorry, 1,000 gold away. Let's make it more realistic. Anyway, this laning stage, it has gone advantageous for the final tribe. They are 1k advantage, and they are the only ones with a kill on the board.
Yeah, Enigma just farms a lot faster than Prophet at this early stage. He has 30 CS as opposed to Prophet's 12.
Yeah, and he has most of his Helmet Dominator coming out to him. He's making the classic rotation where you go to the side shop to get the Glove of Haste while you have the rest of it being brought for you on the courier. And you hope to set up some kind of kill while you rotate in.
Yeah, and it tends to be around 5 minutes too, which means it's gonna be a catapult wave and you can steal the enemy catapult. It tends to be pretty good timing for Enigma, but it doesn't look like he quite has his helm yet. Looks like timing might be wasted.
He's pretty close to it. Only another 20 gold, but yeah, and it is just a catapult wave now, so maybe if he's able to set up the kill, does have that 1 point in the Malefice. So if they catch Yapso, but Yapso with this wall here, they are going to see the rotation of Hanskin in. Splinter Boss, as well as the stun onto mid one, Era, spending his mana, he's going to have to slow. They also have the increased move speed. He's really wanted to get that Malefice, but the Impale from Yapso is going to save the life of mid one. Good positioning by the Lion here.
There we have it, takes the catapult. Now we have 2 catapults and some Eidolons. It's gonna be quite tough for Secret to stop this push.
Yeah, and I feel like we have a reach. Oh, I looked to the wrong lane and Chessie gets the solo kill.
Very well done, Chessie. I know he's a great lane, but I did not expect him to solo kill Dusa. But super well done, and that's gonna help so much. Because if you're ahead as a sniper, you can do so much.
Hanskin has rotated fully to the bottom lane, has dominated catapult. It looks like Yapso with this double damage, the pings are coming out. But Zai, he rotated in for this and he's still not level 6. And previously I was looking at the top lane and look how well this Legion command has been doing.
it looks like he has his face boots in the crew. I wonder what he buys afterwards now. Is he gonna go for those drums, quick blade mill, or even just a straight blink and relying on his team for them?
Puppy, he's DP to try and pull the creep wave away, but I don't think he's going to be successful. And this is what I talked about. This is why they like Zibby versus Nature's Prophet. Just so easy to get history ends. So in this bottom lane, Frost trying to farm up creeps here. Zai has got his level 6. He's flying out his javelin and some mana. And then I think we probably expect to see him get involved in some sort of gank around the map. Maybe even on this sniper.
It's kind of hard though, because he doesn't even have boots yet. He doesn't really have a lot of mana regen. So he has a lot of damage, but he can't really use all of his spells yet in fights. Like, he has a mana potion, but he needs more, honestly. So he just needs to find a lane and try to get some CS.
Yeah, and I really like this from the rest of the side of the final fight. Just Hanskin and Zibby just sitting in the jungle, letting Medusa get her full free from the jungle. Even though she's left the lane, she does farm even faster in the jungle. Oh yeah, so I think you're in real trouble. Props the trouble. Nice instant hex, as well as the impale. Yapsel with his quick fingers is not going to go down to the Legion Commander, and I thought he was just food.
Right, looks like Zai did find that lane, try and get back up in terms of net worth, but at the same time, mid one is struggling just as much.
Oh, they found the Medusa, is sitting in the Midnight Pulse, they have the ultimate, the sniper, and it is just enough, the last hit coming out for this Legion Commander. So 10 bonus damage and a kill on the mid for Secret.
And this is exactly what they need to do. Play aggressively, try to find these early duels to make sure that Zibby has some momentum, and at the same time try to get those tier 1s and play some wards in the jungle. Because, as I said, both Drow Ranger and Medusa pretty much have the same objective at this stage of the game, which is farm jungle.
Yeah, mid one's even gone to farm the jungle before she hits level 6, so it's not that fast yet.
Yep, and we can see she's behind all of the cores from TFT as well as Hanskin, who's just been having a great time. 55 CS, 9 minutes.
I mean, this is what it's like having an Enigma. You are basically for strat. Weird thing is, like, usually I think people can't go to the jungle because the lanes get run over. And they ran this tri lane at bottom for a bit, but Secret, they're just not able to pressure this Sven Wyvern at all.
Yeah, at some point Sven was able to deal with the Treants, so Puppy just decided to jungle, and at that point it's a mediocre dual lane against a slightly less mediocre dual lane in the Sven Wyvern. So I could be in a little bit of trouble here.
Over here, they're trying to get away. Zai didn't manage to make it to the high ground. It's a nice another impale here from Yapsel, but we hear the duel over onto Nature's Prophet. The pings do come out because they need a tiny bit more damage. Zibbe not able to kill Puppy by himself. And it looks like it's just going to be a fight around the runes with no real casualties for either.
Okay, so we talked about Zibbe's item build, and he's actually going for a Vlad. This is not something I've seen a lot of. Usually you see either blade mill or drums. He just decides that he wants to provide that bit of sustain to his team as well as some teamfight presence, I suppose.
Well, do you think the idea is that, you know, the final tribe, they know they need to push before Drow Medusa come online? They know Sven should hit earlier timing, and well, they just want to have the lifesteal for that?
I guess it's okay mostly because it opens up Roche. As soon as you have Vlads, you can go Roche, because otherwise with this lineup, you kind of lack the hero that can reliably tank it. So, I don't really like it that much, but just the Roche potential could possibly make it worth it.
So mid one has finally hit his 6, so he's going to get that acceleration going. And I'm just looking at the net worth, and Kessie certainly has done well for himself.
For sure.
He's taken that cooldown reduction as well with the full 4 points in shrapnel, and that allows him to clear his own stacks if he wants.
So it's a bit weird to see these, I wanted to say Jessies, these snipers go for the cooldown reduction talent, but not really have anything in terms of items that have cooldowns. Like, you don't really care about the cooldown on your threats, do you?
No, that's not the active item. They used to go Midas Necro Book, but now I just think, now isn't it just the farm acceleration that you get with Shrapnel, really?
Yeah, and eventual late game stuff. Meanwhile,
over here, Zai, the first use of his ultimate. Yapso holding on to the Finger of Death, and with that ultimate from Puppey, it gets him low enough, and Yapso able to snipe the kill and get one finger charge.
Very nice rotation. Also, just Prophet showing his power here. Just that global like 400 damage is so strong.
Yeah, it is a lot. Zai, he's got this arcane room, and it's really been a bit of a boon to him, allowing him to net that kill, and now he's just gonna be able to increase his farm in this top wave as well.
TFT had a really good start, but right now I feel like Secret is getting more and more space, because both Dusa and Drow are slowly climbing up these net worth charts. And that worries me greatly, because the later this goes, I feel like it's gonna get for TFT, even though they have a sniper and a legion, which would usually be insanely strong late game heroes. I'm just worried about it being against Secret, which is one of the world's best teams. You generally don't want to go late against those.
Just because the later the game goes, execution gets that much more important.
Yeah, and experience in like these kind of late game games. It really comes down to experience.
Yeah, so Medusa had a bit of a rough lane here on Nisha, but she's managed to almost catch up with the sniper. Just, they haven't been harassing her jungle like we saw, you know, in the early first, 5 to 10 minute period. They were just invading that jungle, but they haven't done it since then.
Yeah, it was a 4k lead, and now it's a 2k lead, and I feel like it's only gonna get closer and closer. So I would love for a Legion to like try to make something happen, maybe go for a smoke together with Enigma. They need to start doing something. Just farming greatly favors Secret right now.
A bit of harass there on the Medusa with the sniper ulti. I love doing that when I'm in the lanes. I hear Zibby just pressing that press the attack of cooldown. Keep his team topped up.
So mid one looks like he has his Dragonlance finished. Nisha working towards a Manta style. At the same time, Hanskin is getting closer to his mech, which could be a sign for them to really start assembling. Maybe try and take a tower. Poppy TPing to place a ward.
So we talked about the TFT, how they are definitely the ones on a timer. So what are they waiting for? Because at the moment it doesn't look like they're piling on the aggression. So there's got to be something that says this is our time. This is when we're...
Well, there is a few things they could be waiting for. One is obviously gonna be the Legion blink, but there is also a Sven BKB coming up.
They have the vision over on the Medusa. Medusa gets stunned, and I think this will die the Dominator creep. But the Finger of Death and the Nature's Prophet ultimate is once again enough to take down this Legion commander. They have managed to find Zai, but Zai has the ultimate if he wants it, and they've managed to get the raid here. They have the ultimate from the Sniper, but it's not going to affect Zai when he gets into that Rolling Thunder.
So one bound going either way, but then Prophet does Prophet things and secures another two. So right now, Secret is leading.
Yes. And so said you really wanted Agnes first, but it looks like he is using a more helpful item in the 4-star. Frost going in, they have Cole, but the silence just in time. He actually casted Black Hole from the sniper. They still able to net the kill over onto mid one. I've never seen that before, where the silence is traveling in the air, the Black Hole casts. Wow.
Yeah, the Gust is a projectile, so it makes sense that it's possible. I haven't really seen it either.
But there's to defend this tower. Nisha needs to be careful. They have the shrapnel understun. The man style dodge actually not quite there, but that's a lot of damage onto Hanskin. They don't have the Lion ultimate to follow up, and it looks like with the Winter's Curse cast from Era, that's going to allow the side of TFT to be able to disengage.
But at the same time, when they got a pick off on mid one, the tier 1 for TFT was already down. So they assembled 5 people and they couldn't take down Secret's tower. So I feel like Secret is perfectly fine with this. Yeah, you got a pick off, but you didn't get any objectives.
So Era here has the smoke. Is he looking to group up with everyone? It seems to me they don't have any real initiation because of Legion Commander going for this Vlad first.
Yeah, and that's what I mentioned in the draft. Right now they have no playmaking hero. They can't really punish Secret for farming. They don't have a like siege hero that can take down towers, and they don't have any ganking heroes to gank the people in the jungle. So both teams are farming, and as we can see, Secret is farming faster.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look at the net worth, and you can see the 4k lead just now trickle all the way into Secret side. Just the speed this Medusa and the Drow are able to farm up because they're being left to these devices.
The win probability is still favoring TFT though, so we cannot underestimate Sniper Enigma late game.
Yeah, I mean, any sort of big team fight ultimate is something never underestimate.
I feel like both teams are actually insanely strong late game. Literally every one of these heroes skills really well.
Yeah, Zai, he's actually just got the Javelin and is going for a Crimson Guard. Well, at least the Vanguard. Do you think he'll build the full Crimson for his team?
I think so. He doesn't really have anything else to build here. And if he commits for a Vanguard, might as well build it into a Crimson, because Vanguard as an item in itself isn't really that strong.
Yo, Legion Commander, the reveal of the Blink Dagger. Puppy is there. The Sprout, it's actually not even going to help. The Sprout doesn't push away, and Zibe able to get that solo kill.
When you're dueled, I believe you can walk through cliffs and stuff like that. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's Puppy learning about new interactions, apparently. I think it was worth a try, because otherwise you have Yapsel saying, do something, and you just have to prove to him that your spells are ineffective.
But this was a beautiful Blink reveal, and this is when TFT can start doing stuff. 15 seconds for another duel. If Puppy sticks around, he could be in danger.
Do you think that they, just because they know the threat of the Blink Jewel is there, that Secret have to change, you know, how aggressively they've been farming?
Yeah,
just
I think
knowing
so.
that this Legion Commander has it?
Yeah, so it's gonna have to adjust his playstyle slightly. Puppy did show, but Zibi walked into a creep wave, so...
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Puppy just flexing right now with the team behind him, being like, you can duel me if you want to. See how that goes for you.
Yeah, Nisha, they did prop the glyph. Actually, that was their own Nature's Prophet ulti. What was I thinking? They've used it here to try and defend this top lane with the help from Zai, but both teams, they actually popped their glyphs to survive through the spells. But Nisha, with the help of Puppy, just this Drow Ranger aura. The bonus attack speed means you're going to take towers, but a whole bunch of TPs coming in here. Who are they going to find? The Legion Commander does find this Lion once again, and he's able to kill Yap. So Nisha uses the ultimate, won't be able to TP away. With the Winter's Curse, denying that TP away. There's no mana remaining here. Hanskin with the Malthus. This is going to be 2 good kills here.
Very nice by Zibe, once again finding the Lion. This is the best target he can find. So he's doing a fantastic job with this Blink Dagger so far. Steals the bounty from right under Zai's nose. What a player.
Yeah, the plays of the Legion Commander, they've really been keeping them in this game. They've just... I mean, Secret can't continue this aggression when they don't have the Lion.
Yeah, and once again, it's kind of the thing that both Drow Ranger and Dusa don't really want to do anything. They are getting some objectives, but they are not really ready to fight yet, and I feel like it's gonna be quite a while until they are.
So, Zibe, Blink Dagger, we saw that reveal, which feels like very little time ago. Since then, he's got 2 good kills, and he's well on his way towards his Blade kill, and they're just heading to Roshan for the side of the final tribe. I mean, they do have the lifesteal, but do you feel they take this far fast enough?
It's questionable, because they are playing into a Rolling Thunder as well as Stone Gaze. But at the same time, it doesn't look like Secret is expecting this. And now they see it, but Sven ulti is already popped, so are they gonna be in time? That's the question.
Yeah, they're sending in Trient after Trient. The Roche is getting pretty low. Now they know, and Zai, oh, he's faking it out, but it looks like they've decided to give up Roshan and they're not committing for it.
Yeah, it's too late. Very nice call by Final Tribe, going for that Roche, recognizing that Secret is too far away. And
I like this build on Frost hit. The Echo Saber just to you know, help you farm, help you with your mana issues. The BKB as well, and now just that blink. His aim really is to get on top of that Drow Ranger, I think.
I feel like either Zibe or Frost needs to buy a Shadow Blade though. It's gonna be so nice at finding those pickoffs to break open the high ground. Because blinks are great for initiation, but I feel like they can't really go high ground until they get a pickoff, and pickoffs are a lot easier if you have an item to hunt people.
Yeah, there's the smoke here. Zibe, are they going to see anyone? They have an idea who's farming here because they see the creeps moving back. But Puppey is going to be okay. Mid lane, Zai, it looks like he did push out this lane, but Bay doesn't have the vision over him. He can switch to range vision, and they now see Zai. Press the attack, but he doesn't go for the leap in. Feeling he's a bit too far away.
I feel like they're just respecting Secret a little bit too much. They really don't want to dive too deep and make a mistake, but as a result, they're giving Secret a lot of space. I can respect not wanting to make a mistake against Secret, but at the same time, you shouldn't be afraid of making plays.
Handskin just gonna TP out in front of Puppey. Puppey with the Lotus Orb, nothing to cancel that TP.
So now, 4 heroes at least TP top for Secret, right? Now, TFT can definitely make a play. Like right now, they should be running at this top lane because they know that people TP'd in because they have a ward on the shrine. So if you capture people, there's gonna be any support.
Yeah, I just feel like the Final Tribe, it feels like we've seen them win most of their lanes today, but they, you know, they had a few bad mistakes and they're trying to clean up their game. But by cleaning the game, they're playing a little bit too slow, and this is letting the Drow Ranger and the Medusa farm themselves into this game.
I'm not sure if it's being hesitant because they don't want to make a mistake, or just really confident that they can take this late. Because as I spoke about before, I feel like they have a really strong late game lineup too. So it's not that they're necessarily on a timer lineup wise. If they don't make mistakes throughout this game, even if they take it very slow, they have a really good shot at winning this game. They just need to make sure that the fights they do take are very calculated and they don't give up too much to this Secret lineup.
So what do you think is going to lead into our next big team fight? I asked that, but it looks like the Final Tribe with this Invis rune here on Zibi. But Mid1 has a Shadow Blade of his own and is going to be able to walk through the mid lane away from the side of Final Tribe, so they're not going to catch anyone. I was going to ask when either team goes and looks to get aggressive, but it looks like Final Tribe have decided with this Blade Mail and the Blink Dagger, the time is now.
Yeah, I feel like they can honestly just put Sniper on a tower and just start pushing. Because these smokes, they don't really work out if you don't also take an objective.
So what are they meant to do? Are they meant to smoke towards an objective, hoping to find someone? Talking of finding someone, they have found Buffy. But it's a double duel. You get the double damage. So now 82 over on the Legion Commander. That Lotus Orb certainly not effective against this hero.
Oh, that feels so good. One duel, 52 damage. And
with that, you did say pick off into tower, so they have their full 5-man together.
Yeah, and I don't see how Secret defends this, even with the Crimson.
Nisha, instead of defending, has decided to go for the 2 bounty runes here. So just trying to get something out of the map while they're losing at this tower.
I would love to see Jesse build a little bit more glass cannon-like. But at the same time, once again, this is just the safe play, and I feel like that's the name of the game for TFT right now. Whatever they do, they just really don't want to make any big mistakes. They've learned from the OG game where they just made one mistake and instantly lost the game.
So, they're playing pretty safe. Does this mean now that the Aegis is about to expire over on their Sven, they're going to wait for the next one before they look to, you know, take another objective on the secret side of the map?
I highly doubt it, because Aegis on Sven doesn't really matter that much. He only has 1 BKB and 1 God Strength anyway. So their playstyle is not gonna change too much. I'm just waiting for someone to buy a Shadow Blade so they can make these pickoffs into more of a consistent thing. Jesse is very alone in this top lane.
Real trouble. Puppey, he's behind him. He does actually misses with the Sprout. They just didn't have the vision about where Chessie was, and they've guessed wrongly about what direction he went.
That's the best kind of juke, just running straight away, and the enemy team thinking you're actually juking while you're just running.
Yeah, Puppy, he ran up here, deciding that Chessie could not just be running straight home. And even though he was, so Chessie, we felt he overextended a bit, but just knew exactly what he was doing.
Oh, it's Chessie, it was certainly calculated.
And let's check in with the cause of Secret, because they're really who we're waiting for. And Nisha going for a full-blown Lincoln Sphere. I'm curious about that. Do you like this Lincoln Sphere, or think she should have just tanked up? But Zibby dives in, looking for Yapsa, but it's just going to walk right out afterwards. Did force out the Stone Gaze here on Nisha, so now they don't have to be worried about that. They push this tier 2 mid.
I feel like the Lincolns is okay. There are a lot of high-value single-target spells and block.
Top tower is under attack.
Side puts the Crimson Guard on Memphis team. Mid one, not enough damage to cancel the blink thanks to the Warcry over Sven, and they're just going to back off after getting their objective. So the final tribe successfully getting all the objectives they want.
So it looks like Secret is actually leading by a little bit, but I feel like TFT is a lot stronger. Because Dusa always inflates your net worth by quite a bit, but she doesn't really have that much more impact than like a Sven or a Legion at this point. And at the same time, Legion's dual damage is not calculated into net worth, so she's a lot stronger than she looks.
So, do you think that, what does Secret need to do to be able to turn up the pace? Because at the moment, it does feel like Final Tribe, they're getting everything they currently want. What can Secret do to, you know, turn up the pace and really threaten the security of Final Tribe?
I feel like Secret just has to keep farming. They can't really make plays with these heroes, so they need TFT to take the initiative and to make a mistake. Because they don't really have this one hero that just blows up someone and then they can suddenly take towers.
Oh no. In the bottom lane, the double duel again. Zibby, he is loving this Lotus Orb on Puppy.
That's
I think
52.
when he's dead, Puppy needs to be careful about that.
Man, these are the best kind of Legion games, where you're not only finding duels on supports, but you're finding double duels.
I'm just so surprised, because I understand Puppy, you know, thought maybe he'll stop one stun, but this is the second time he's just feeding over damage to this Legion.
Yeah, I feel like in these moments he can easily realize that he's dead anyway, so shouldn't really bother. Almost level 20 on Legion. We did see him go for the 25% XP gain, which I like because he recognizes that it's a slow game. So just getting those level 20 and 25 talents is gonna be so nice. Probably gonna go press the attack AoE as well, just because it's so solid against heroes like Lion and Dusa. Yeah, I would love to see the dual damage, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know in pubs you see the 40 dual damage, but usually at that stage as a Legion Commander, you already have more than enough damage.
Just imagine a double level 25 duel giving 132 damage.
Wow. that would be something special. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll be seeing it. And Nisha now has his Eye of Skadi completed. Firmly securing the #1 net worth. But Secret, you're right. They are not feeling the pressure this game. They really want the Final Tribe to fight into them and then take a bad fight.
And I feel like if this sniper gets to a 6 slot point, he's gonna completely destroy these fights. Because we spoke about Jungle being good against Sniper and catching him, but Sniper has a BKB, so that's not really relevant anymore. So I don't see an easy way for the Sniper to go down, except if he gets jumped by the Lion. So as long as he can make sure that that doesn't happen, and he stands in the backline, he can clean up these fights. Sven doesn't even need to right click.
He just needs to act as a tank to give the vision from the Sniper. So talking of this Lion, he might have his Blink Dagger. If he gets a tiny bit more farm, it looks like he is going to take those creeps away from Puppy. So he should have it now. Do you think
It's very worrisome for him too, because he's so squishy. He gets hit twice by Sven and he dies.
But now they do have this blink. Do you think they're going to look for a reveal of it? I mean, Drow does have a Shadow Blade, as well as having this blink. If someone overextends, they could look
Zibe,
for
is he gonna find Yapsor? No.
Oh, Zibe. So close to Yapsor. Yapsor knows where he is, though. If he has rotation from the rest of his team, might be able to set this up. Yapsor, he goes in, he gets the Hex. They have the Rolling Thunder coming out from side. It's a nice follow-up stun. Do they have enough damage? He is draining his mana, but now Frost on the back lines, they have the duel, and I think that's going to be another kill on Puppey. They drop the ultimate, but they are going to lose Zibe to this mid one. Nisha popping the ultimate just to allow the disengage. They brought back in Puppey for this.
That was a really good initiative being taken by Secret, but at the same time I do feel like it's gonna be worth it for TFT. Because while they did lose the Legion, Puppey had to buy back for that.
Yeah, this Puppey buyback, I think they just thought there was going to be a bigger fight than there was, really. And it just never quite broke up. Zai blinking in. Era is going to be safely to that high ground, but now Zai stuck on a cliff. Oh, they mustn't know what this feels like when they watch the EG game. Zai able to make it to low ground with the help of the 4-star from Yapsor. And now I think they're all going to be okay. Nisha pushing in this top lane. Do they have any sort of blink tagger? Yes, they do. Handskin has the black hole as well as the blink tagger. I don't know if they've scouted this out, and even his BKB, so they won't be able to cancel it.
Yeah, TFT is hitting some scary timings. They have the BKB on Legion now as well, so they could try to go for a Roche fight if this Legion is up in time, because Roche does drop really, really quickly. Look at this.
Yeah, it's this poor man in a pit. He doesn't stand a chance. They do have the scan onto the high ground. Frosty blinks in. Hanskin, it's the black hole. It's only onto one. It's really not quite enough damage to take down this Drow Ranger. Now they have the Lotus Orb on top of Nisha. There's the stun. Yeah, so they are kept in place by the combat. It's a nice stuff by mid one on top of both of them. And Nisha gets the Aegis just in time before he goes down. So Nisha, they've managed to take down the Enigma. There's no black hole at him. Nisha able to survive through this, and Zai, he's pursuing Era to this high ground. They're looking for more Puppey. TP's in. They have the vision on top of Chesney. They have the silence inside. They need a tiny bit more chance. He's silenced here over the side, but he's just doing so much work. Zibe on top of mid one, and he's going to go down. The Winter's Curse. It means that they're attacking their own heroes. Absol with the Finger of Death. It's not quite enough. Era with the Cold Embrace over on his Sven. He's going to live for a tiny bit longer. And now Nisha, he's trying to kill off Chessie, but he's losing all his mana. The ultimate across the Lincoln, it doesn't matter. He's sitting here. It's the shrapnel. He's pushed back. And Nisha, he's dead once again. Zai, he might have overextended. He's the only one left from his team. And Chessie just so much damage, plus the Splinter Blast. Chessie dominating in this fight.
TFT is so strong right now. It was super unfortunate for Zibe that Nisha got his Lincolns off cooldown right before Zibe dueled. So that could have gone way worse for Secret. But then they did get the Aegis and they decided to chase uphill, which is always a little bit questionable. And then mid one got really aggressive, but even though Zibe didn't have a duel, he just jumped on him and started clicking.
Yeah, I have to say those last second grab of the Aegis, I really thought Secret might be able to turn it around, but they followed them, and then TFT, they were the ones on top, and now there's no buyback here on mid one. They do have one on Nisha, but do they want to use it?
It's just a classic thing of Dusa. As soon as your team dies, you can't really kill anyone anymore, because you have no one to keep the enemies in place, so you just get kited. And TFT actually takes a Rax here. It doesn't look like they're too interested in going back just yet. His sniper can just hit from so far away. Look at this.
And they have the sustain thanks to Guardian Greaves, and now they're onto their second set of racks. As you said, he's just being that frontline tank. Meanwhile, Chessie just from the back lines. And that's 2 lanes of racks. They just don't want to use the buyback on Nisha.
Yeah, I feel like I spoke about if it was uncertainty or confidence, but it looks like it's confidence. They're taking these fights. They're taking it slowly, methodically, but so far they're coming out on top, and I am quite impressed by the TFT in this game.
Yeah, I'm realizing now when the Sven was trying to hit mid one while it looked like he was doing nothing. This butterfly, he already had it for the previous fight, but Sven building the counter item of the MKB, and then next time if they do get a good black hole, they'll be able to take it down.
I would still like Zive to buy a Shadow Blade. I don't feel like Halberd is that important. It is quite nice to cancel the Lincolns though.
Yeah, just be able to secure that jewel over on the Medusa. might be absolutely fight winning as long as she doesn't get off that stone gaze.
Looks like Nisha is also working towards a butterfly. I wonder if she's still gonna go for it if this Sven reveals his MKB.
Yeah, both him and Chessie, they're building towards it. Chessie, he did get the BKB as well as the Hurricane Pike, but the rest of his items, he's now building into that pure raw damage.
Yeah, I would love for him to get a Deadless or something afterwards, just for that insane right click. Because even a Dusa is not gonna survive too long against the 6-slotted sniper hitting away at a distance. And that's where another one of Secret's drafting problems come in. They don't really have a jump. They have insane scaling, they have good right click, they have decent control, but they can't really jump and burst this sniper. Yapsa needs a lot more Finger of Death kill charges to make that happen.
So now they're two lanes of barracks ahead for the side of Final Tribe. They're going to continue this aggression, right? There's no Aegis for the side of Secret, and I feel Final Tribe, they know they can beat them in a fight.
Yeah, for sure. I don't see why they would stop, and this is one of the strengths of Sniper. You can just push from so far away with so little risk, especially when you're not against a jumping hero like Storm or Void. Like, they could just try to secure the Megas right now, no reason to wait for Roche. As long as you have vision up the high ground, you can just hit.
This top laner is being pushed in. Poppy puts down wards to give good vision over Chessie, but it doesn't feel like... We discussed this, Secret, they really feels like they lack the initiation. But Yatso even forces him in. Now they have the Stone Gaze, Zai rolling in, but it's a nice cold embrace there, so there's no damage actually on his sniper. Frost pops his BKB, but he's caught inside the Sprout. This reminds me of a Sprout TC Zai, able to make his way to the high ground. Chessie with the end of that BKB is going to be able to TP away. And it looks like the rest of the Final Tribe, after losing their Sven, are going to be able to get away scot-free.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that usually a Lion Jump doesn't really do that much against the Legion because it just gets dispelled. But what Yapso did was actually force him in first. So that way he was way further out of position, and it was really hard for the Final Tribe to react appropriately. Also, Frost jumped right into it.
Right on top of it, man, he's gonna kill himself with that damage. Ground Ranger does go down to the jewel. Mid-1. Over-aggressive there onto Era, wasn't able to get the kill. And the rest
so
of
they don't lose the gem, and this is really big. This could possibly
he's still
force the
following.
buyback.
It's a nice stun from Yatso, and it should mean they don't lose any more, hopefully. Chessie is, you know, not initiated on, and is just allowed to output damage. In TFT, it really does feel like this game might be theirs against the major champion.
Right, and Frost is finally queuing up a Battle Fury, just to make sure he doesn't get stuck inside Sprout. Very nice.
I do like it because you know you have to carry a Quelling Blade, so you might as well get as much as you can out of the item.
Yep. In this late game stage, having a Quelling Blade is more damage than having a Rapier because it means you can actually hit stuff.
Exactly, but it looks like they're gonna try and repeat exactly the same thing once again. This top lane is pushing in, but now... Oh, I didn't realize this. Zibe, he's hit level 25 and has taken that AoE press the attack that we talked about. So if they try and initiate on them, he will be able to get rid of hexes and all that kind of thing.
I would really love TFT to be smoked behind him instead of just standing behind him. Because that way they have multiple opportunities to try and go for a jump. Looks like they're just gonna wait for Roche. Could be up in as little as 20 seconds.
Cassie with that level 25 range talent. Yeah, I just can't believe that you can hit base from right down here. And it means, you know, you're just so far away that it's honestly safe for you. And you give vision for yourself with the shrapnel, and you just rinse, repeat, and you take building.
I wonder if Chessie didn't forget about using Take Aim, because it's probably one of the least used abilities in the game, because you just forget about its existence, because it's so inconsequential.
What is the bonus amount you get? 400. That is a... Wait, is that the passive, or is that the active?
It's the same. It adds 400 for the active as well.
Oh. Yeah, so, I mean, that isn't inconsequential. Like, you can stand even further back, use it, you know, every 4.5 seconds and just be
And just
Very
shoot
happy
the
with your
tower
position.
once and then go back. And then after
it
20
doesn't-
minutes you kill something. Pretty good.
As Grand always says, it's unhealable damage. Unhealable damage, man.
That's
But
cool.
you said they were waiting for Roshan, and look who has respawned. They know it's happening. This is their dominated creep.
Looks like they just wanna make sure they push out the lanes first. Like, they're in pretty firm control of this game, so the last thing you want to do is give up a disastrous Roche fight.
The thing is, even though it does feel like the final tribe are massively in control, it is only a 4k advantage. Usually when your two lanes are racked up, you feel like you should have more gold than this.
Sure, but you're also against Medusa, and the 186 damage on Legion Commander is worth like, I don't know, 4k, 5k gold. I feel
Yeah.
like in a normal game it would be like 10 to 15k lead.
Fair enough. So I do hear a smoke coming out from the side of Final Tribe. If they're able to take a big fight now, this could win them the game.
Is this another double duel or a pocket?
Oh, the AoE pressed the attack, the vision given, and Poppy gone right down. 75 seconds without their Nature's Prophet.
Just a
He
single
does
one.
have buyback. And have you seen this? Look where he's put all of his treants. Just scouting out every single side of this Roche pit. But it looks like they might find more. Nisha, on this high ground, they don't quite have vision of him. No, they do. They did see Nisha.
We didn't mention this yet, but Zai actually has a pressure, which means they finally have a reliable way of cancelling the black hole through BKB. So that's a really big deal. Well, reliable, you know.
I mean, with the swashbuckle, you should hopefully get one hit.
Well, it's
One hit.
25% chance and 4 hits. So the chance of not getting one is 25. I don't know what you call it in English.
It's technically not that because of the pseudo-random distribution of the bashes in Dota. So I think it's actually a little bit under 25. It's a little bit under a quarter per hit.
I see. Well, if that wasn't the case, the chances of not getting a bash in those hits would be pretty damn low.
No, yeah, exactly. And you can do the thing where you prop bash.
Middle tower is under attack.
You really need it that instantly. Anyway, we're talking about obscure mechanics, but let's focus on the game. Mid one, he has a double damage here, and it looks like the side of Secret, they're finally looking to map a push. I don't know what sparked this, but it looks like they want to get this game over and done with the creep wave coming in. The backdoor regen on this tier 2 is down.
Tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
They are affected by the smoke breaking here on Frost. Do they have an idea where they are? They do pop the Blade Mail over here. The Finger of Death, it's not quite enough. Over on this silencer, this Sniper, he pots his BKB and he just doesn't care about the Rolling Thunder. We talked about this, and now the side of the Final Tribe, they're the ones looking to chase. Frost, he does have the stun. It does affect onto Zai, as well as the ultimate of the Sniper. But neither team has lost everyone. They just haven't been able to quite get on top of each other.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are not really willing to fully commit here. And it's kind of hard for TFT to just jump straight into a Dusa, because even though they are ahead, there is still the risk of a really strong stone gaze and one of your heroes getting bursted by this lion, who finally did get his Aghanims.
Yeah, it's still only 3 deaths on this lion, so that Finger isn't up to really scary territory yet. That's why the Sniper lived through it.
1175 magic damage. Press the attack, goodness. We spoke about
with the press
Secret
tier.
killing Roche fast, but the same could be said about TFT. It's insane.
Yeah, Secret, it looks like they knew about the Roche Pit, but they just weren't expecting the speed. This pressed the attack on the entire lineup.
And Frost actually changed his mind, going for a Daedalus now. I'm not sure if I like this. I feel like he really needs that Battle Fury. I guess he's relying on his team to just force him out, but
Under attack.
there is only the Hurricane Pike on Sniper.
The Sniper, yeah. There's only one Force Staff, and I would think that the Sniper is probably going to use that to save himself.
I would love Wyvern to get one. I mean, he can go for the Refresher if he wants to be greedy, but I feel like having a Force is just pretty much required for high ground pushes.
Yeah, Aero has gone a tiny bit more greedy with the initiation here of Wyvern. Really looking for a big Winter's Curse, it seems.
And one thing we did not mention yet is that Hanskin actually has a Refresher right now. So if he gets bashed, he can just press refresh web and try again.
But I do have to say, I feel like the black hole's kind of been inconsequential in these fights. Like, I don't know if having a second black hole really changes all that much.
Yeah, the problem of BKB black hole in this game is that he can still just die to the Dusa or the Drow Ranger, right? Which are really strong at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Mid one here almost has the full Satanic. Looking towards that level 25 so you get the 50% cooldown reduction.
I feel like one thing that has been stopping TFT from pushing high ground is these high ground voids placed by Secret. So they just need to place a sentry and remove them, because they're just giving so much vision.
Yeah, they have the vision of the sniper even when he's sitting on the low ground. But now, Chassis is hitting from that long distance away. Nisha, the Lincoln Sphere, pops the Storm Hammer, so he's going to be able to walk back to the high ground. And another creep wave cleared through. They're just going to have to wait, rinse, repeat. This is what we talked about. But they can do this. They can get away with this slow siege.
If Sniper gets sneaked one more time though, he's gonna lose all of his mana.
Oh, they have the duel. They broke the Lincoln Sphere with the ultimate there from Chesney. Nisha, he's been able to get his snow gates off, and now they're all trying to retreat. A good Finger of Death allows them to take down the Winter Wyvern before the Winter's Curse gets up. And now the Aegis is spawning Hanskin. He's looking for a big black hole, but it's on no one. He loses it instantaneously as well. Zibe, they are able to get the kill over on site. It looks like Puppy might go down once again. Frost, he's lost the Aegis and he's lost his life once again. Now, a big black hole over by Hanskin, but the disarm over Chesney, the Purge, it doesn't really matter. And they're all living through it. The Finger of Death, it does so much. Nisha, he's very low, but he's still surviving through this. The Sniper does kill him on the back lines, and now mid one is going to go down. They do have buybacks on absolutely everyone, and Cheshi, an ultra kill. Will he be able to get the rampage if he sees anyone else?
My goodness, what a crazy fight. That black hole on 3 people, almost killing them all before it ended, but not quite, meaning that mid one could have get off his Satanic, and goodness, complete chaos. And
yeah,
it feels like this Sven is just doing absolutely nothing in these fights. He's just getting completely kited.
Yes, Sven as a melee hero versus this Deucer and Trout, we're starting to see his issue. But after that first black hole, I was starting to doubt, but that refresher orb really starting to pay off. And if Chessie hadn't been disarmed at the beginning of that black hole, he would have done even more work.
I feel like the biggest deal was Yapsa killing Era at the start, because he instantly Earthspike fingered him, and there was no Winter's Curse in that fight, which I think is a huge deal. Because if you can get off a Winter's Curse when Drow has a Satanic active or something like that, you just instantly win the fight.
Yeah, that's a really good point. They were missing a big part of their team fight, but they were still able to come out. They do come out ahead, right? Even though they lose the Aegis? You say they come out ahead with that buyback on mid one?
I guess so, yeah. Just the buyback makes it worth, because without the buyback it would be kind of mediocre. Because they ultimately did not get the high ground siege they wanted to. They lost the Aegis. Did they lose the refresher shot? Yes, they did. So they pretty much used all of their resources and got a mid one buyback.
One thing I do have to say is I really like what they did. They broke the Medusa Lincolns with the Assassinate, and then they went in with the Legion Commander and the Sven. But I'm pretty sure he didn't duel the actual Medusa. I think he dueled up an illusion. That's why it didn't last very long.
Yeah, or he just got off the duel slightly before the Assassinate landed, because I did hear a duel, but I didn't see it. So one of those things.
So I think if they feel confident enough, they can try the same thing again. It looks like it might work, but now they're just looking very sheepish about this push.
And look at what Nisha is queuing up.
Oh wow, it's that kind of game, is it?
Looks like
Rapier time. I mean, it is the next logical item for a Deucer once you have the Lincoln Sphere. Do you swap out boots for it?
I think so, yeah. You just have your team voice you around.
Yeah, you just act as that turret from the high ground, really. Oh, the final tribe, they did so well taking these 2 lanes of barracks, but it's Eternal Envy who really says, once you lose 2 lanes of barracks, you only have 1 to defend it. Dota gets that much more simple.
That being said, they got the first 2 because they got some pickoffs. They haven't gotten a pick off for a long time now. Like, this Legion has been stuck at 212 damage.
It's such a pitiful amount of damage to be stuck
Yeah,
at.
come on, Zibe. Get it together.
But yet, I mean, because Secret, they're either moving around together or sitting on their high ground. You're just not able to get those pickoffs that you want to as a Legion commander. You're totally right.
I mean, he's just sitting in this lane right now, but I don't honestly expect anyone to really push out this lane. That being said, mid one, you're gonna prove me wrong.
Oh, Zibe is a tiny bit too far away. I thought he'd be closer to the creep wave to go for this. Is he gonna look for it? Zibe? No, I think he expects people to be behind mid one.
It's kind of hard to get the duel from that angle, because he has to run a little bit, and mid one can just press his Shadow Blade again. It's kind of a difficult kill to get without a smoke or a Shadow Blade.
Yeah, the gem is over here on the Winter Wyvern and not the Legion Commander. But it does feel like he's been here for an hour. But now he's hoping he returns to this lane, I guess.
I just don't see it happening. I feel like he can just push in bot, threaten the throne, and then you can take high ground. Easy.
Yeah, because now that Drow Rangers hit level 25, it's just hitting that position or off cooldown. And that's allowing these lanes, where you are super creep, to still push out.
Yeah, it's just so strong. I feel like that's something that's gonna have to get tuned down next patch. Poppy is showing himself though. Zibe could try to go for something here. But he's just so hesitant. Ooh, Frost.
How long has he been in these trees? Frost, they go for it. He has a double damage here on Frost, but Nisha, more than enough damage. He pops his BKB even to walk away. The Glimmercake thinking it wouldn't be enough from Era, but now they've broken the Lincoln Sphere over on Nisha. They have the vision being provided by the Shrapnel, but the slow from this, they TP in with Puppy, and I think he's going to be okay. Though that's a lot of damage over on this sniper, and they do get a bash.
Very scary for both teams, but neither team losing anything significant. Spends BKB already at 5 seconds, so it isn't that important.
So we are approaching the hour mark now. So do you feel that, both teams, even though Secret are behind structures wide, that both teams are pretty damn even?
Yeah, I think so. It mostly comes down to execution. That being said, in a super late game, I feel like the Prophet team is pretty much always going to be the stronger one. Even if the final tribe is going to be a lot stronger in fights. I feel like just having the map presence of a Prophet makes all the difference.
I really like this pickup from Puppy as well. He's gone for the Ethereal Blade just for the ability to either save someone in the duel or from the right-click damage of the sniper.
Yeah, and there is no nullifiers, so it's gonna be a full duration E-Blade, which is 4 seconds.
But Final Tribe smoked up, really trying to find someone here. They have the double black hole if it does emerge into a full team. Mid one, is he going to show himself? And if you do, will they be able to find you in time?
Like, it's quite unlikely. However, the smoke still has like 10 seconds left. Mid one is very patient.
Mid one is so patient. They have the vision of all 4 of them. And are they going to run at them? It doesn't look like it. Playing this game very safe.
I feel like that's just the complete name of the game. Playing it very safe. Roche is gonna be up in a minute though, so that could be another point of contention here. A duel coming out on bot? Is the E-Blade?
And he's managed to find mid one, but the E-Blade, it does stay mid one, and now with this panic, he's able to heal up, does get the disarm over from Zibe. But Zibe, the patience, it finally does pay off, but not quite enough damage.
That was so unfortunate. He got off the blade a duel, but it still wasn't enough damage.
I mean, it looks like you're right. 212 damage, not quite enough.
Pitiful.
And mid one just being so patient, it meant Zibe by himself. He just doesn't have quite enough. He was almost there, but Puppy came and saved the day.
I feel like the only heroes he can solo kill at this point are actually just the Nature's Prophet and the Lion. Actually, he can't even solo kill the Lion because he has a Neon Disc. So only the Prophet then.
I mean, the thing I do feel is, I feel they haven't taken massive advantage of this Bessie sniper. Like, they aren't just going for getting... I know it's not a lot of damage, but you could literally get 40 damage per creep wave. And eventually that tier 3 would fall.
The problem is this Lion, though. He has a finger that deals 1225 damage now. So, like, you make one mistake, and he just instantly dies. And they're just so afraid of having to use a sniper buyback. So, it makes some sense, but at the same time, you're playing against a Prophet, and you're playing against the Dusa, so... I don't know.
Frost, he has been found by Nisha. They have the roll from Zai. But Chessie on the backline, he's just hitting into Zai. Needs to be careful about focusing while he has his blade mail turned on. They have the Winter's Curse, but it's only on to Zibe. There's no one hitting into Frost. Pops his BKB. Nisha, they go, they get the black hole as well as the jewel. Are they going to be able to kill this Prophet? The stun, it does cancel the first jewel, but now it's a stun. There's no mana left over here on top of him, but mid one doing so much damage. They have the side, but the second black hole, it's on top of two of them, but it's cancelled once again by side. But are they going to lose Nisha? Yes, they are. The Finger of Death, it doesn't kill this Legion Commander affected by the Glim Cape, and he is going to survive. Mid one over here on the bottom line, they've already bought back on the Medusa, and now the side of the final tribe, they want to retreat without losing anyone, and it looks like that is going to be possible for them. So the final tribe able to take a successful fight with both those black holes getting cancelled even.
So 2 buybacks used for Secret now, and it looks like they are very interested in taking a Roach, but this is a huge risk. If they lose Nisha here, this could mean the game. And there is
they have vision, they have the Winter's Curse as well as the Blink. Are they going to go for it? The Winter's Curse, it's on top of mid one, but this Crimson Guard, it means they're not doing quite enough. And thanks to the Ethereal Blade, it doesn't matter. Mid one getting very low, but it's going to be fine. The Satanic, it doesn't matter. Mid one's dead, does have buyback now. And is this going to be enough? Zai, he thinks about the Rolling Thunder. Nisha still in the pit. Roshan is going down, and I don't think they're going to be able to contest this. So Nisha is able to get the Aegis, even though he doesn't have buyback. It sounds like the BKB, they have the jewel. It's over on the Pangolier, so as soon as that Rolling Thunder stops, Zai is going to go down. He has buyback himself, but they have lost the Sniper. Sniper forced to buyback. Mid one, they do have the installed Sniper with the boots of travel to able to get right back into this fight. And now mid one, he is invisible in the Shadow Blade. Puppey TP in. They're not going to find anyone on this side of the map.
So no Secret heroes have buybacks right now. Oh, I mean, only the Lion has it. And on the side of TFT, we have Hansken, Zibe, and Era with buyback. So any core dying is gonna be a really big deal right now.
Yeah, Zibe might have been able to get himself a tiny bit more damage since last time we saw him. But it looks like it's not been that effective. They really have to take a fight, I feel, for the final tribe. They have to kill one of these heroes without buyback.
And Nisha does have an Aegis now, so it's gonna be really hard to take a fight.
I mean, the pings do come out for mid one in the mid lane. But as you said, every time he feels he's in danger, just pops the Shadow Blade and is able to walk away.
I feel like defending this tier 2 is so important for TFT, because it means that if Secret does win a fight at one of the side lanes, they cannot take Megas. Jesse?
In this mid lane, it looked like they tried to find mid one, but was able to force himself to safety. But the BKBs all at 5 seconds. They don't mind expending them.
There is a lot of weight on Jesse's shoulders right now. If he dies once, it could mean trouble, because he is the one who's gonna be able to defend high ground. If he does die, I think Secret can just take the game instantly.
I mean, it does feel that for like both him and mid one. You know, mid one doesn't have buyback, so Nisha luckily does have the Aegis, so doesn't have to play as crazy safe as the rest of them.
It looks like he changed his mind, no longer going for a rapier. Feels like the game could be secured without it. Right,
Yeah.
and Zibe does have a Shadow Blade now.
Do they have a gem on anyone from the side of Secret?
I think mid one had it, but he swapped it out and he gave it to no one. They don't have a gem.
They must have lost it in the last fight yet. Yapso, by the way, does have a refresher shard, so you're going to be looking at double finger.
He can kill Jesse with that. If he catches Jesse, he can just hex in double finger and Jesse's gonna go down. So Yapsor, being a position 4 support, is actually one of the most important heroes in this game right now. It's his job to deal with the enemy, basically the only or the biggest threat that TFT has.
Yeah, but Chessie, without this buyback, they are playing it so safe here on the final tribe. And I'm just taking a look at the graphs, and you can see they've had a lead, but it's now almost down to absolutely nothing. And when we look at the win probability, even Dota Plus doesn't know who's going to win this one. And honestly, neither do I. 62 minutes in, these teams, they feel so even. This is the final tribe. They're a team who weren't even at the minor, taking it to secret.
And the final tribe has been in the scene for quite a while though. Players like Era have been in the scene for so long, playing on that original famous Fnatic squad together with No-Till. And Chessie is pretty much a veteran as well, playing Hon for a long time. And same for Hanskin actually. Like, these are not newbies. Maybe Zibe is a bit new. But overall, quite an experienced lineup.
And I mean, when it comes to these late game situations, I do feel, especially when both teams feel so even like this, that experience is really what's going to pay off.
Yeah, for sure. Experience and just the ability of keeping it cool.
So Nisha has a Satanic, is even building a Moonshot, has his Linkosphere as well as his Manta Style, you know, just in his backpack, because he has better items than that apparently.
Yep. Zibe
Okay.
is still looking for pickoffs, but he's just not finding them. No one is showing on these side lanes.
So once we get to this uber late game that happens, what are the most important things? Just initiation for the fights? Is it lanes managed? What do teams really have to consider and not forget when it...
Well, you mentioned the two most important things,
Radiant's middle tower
so my job here is done.
It looks like you are being a positive influence.
But yeah, it's mostly about managing your lanes, which is a bit easier now that Enigma has 25 and Eidolon damage and conversion, so that helps a lot. But it's also just trying to find that one magical initiation, because the Aegis is expired now, so pretty much every hero in the game is gonna have buyback again soon. Mid one still needs to farm 1500 gold though.
One thing I would like to highlight is, firstly, if you look at where Puppy's treants are, he's using them like wards across the map. And he's also managed to get himself the Aghanim Scepter. So even if they do get Mega Creep for the side of Secret, I don't think this game is over anytime soon.
Yeah, for sure. Like, when you have a Dusa, Drow Ranger, Prophet, game is never over until the throne falls. And same for Lion actually, he can one-shot creep waves consistently, even super creeps. Probably even mega creeps, because he just does so much damage. And he has the AoE hacks now as well, which could get AoE dispelled by the Legion.
Just the 225 abilities when they become AoE. Yeah, what talent isn't stronger?
I've been waiting for this for so long, and I finally might get to see it.
In this top lane, it looks like the final tribe, they've mustered up some sort of courage to push. That press the attack on all the Eidolons does get very loud, but they still can't even deal with a Medusa.
Alternative winning condition, hearing damage.
Yeah, you honestly do need to be careful. It gets so loud. I didn't realize it scaled for every unit.
I guess you've never tried using Zeus ulti on like 50 heroes in demo mode.
No, that isn't something I've done, but now... Yes, it's a double duel! As well as the Black Hole, the Aegis is expired! He's gonna go down, there's no buyback over him! But mid one, they're focusing in on Frost. They have the pressure! They do manage to take down the Legion Commander! We saw the double line alpha, and a bit of a surprise.
But we saw this E-Blade, it just completely stopped the duel, and it made the Hanskin have to commit a Black Hole. If he didn't E-Blade there, Dusa would have just instantly died and all three heroes would have been able to escape. So very timely reaction.
There's a reason why Puppy is one of the best. Like, even though he's playing support, just this Ethereal Blade, I feel it actually has saved the game a few times. That's safe for mid one and buying that time there for Nisha.
Yeah, for sure. And he's buying a Lincolns now as well for the double Lincolns on Dusa, which is such a big deal.
Yeah, because the final tribe, they do have this tactic, you know, of breaking the Lincoln Sphere with the Assassinate and going for the Jewel, but they just don't have quite enough damage anymore. Puppey going for the Shroud. They have the Jewel on top of Puppey. Does he have buyback still? I think he probably has come back up. Yes, they do. Mid one needs to be careful about hitting into that blade mail over Ozibe. So a nice pick up Puppey, a bit too aggressive, really hoping to get that tier 3, which is on 19 health, and even buys back for it. And they finally do pause. I feel like we've been going for a long time, but it looks like Jesse is saying we're ready to go.
So Jesse actually has queued up a rapier now, so that's gonna be interesting to see. Maybe we'll see 5 rapiers Aghanims on Sniper. That would be pretty cool.
I mean, is that enough to one-shot the Drow? If it is, it might be worth it.
I think so, but Drow can just buy a Ghost Scepter. But still, the idea is pretty cool.
Yeah, the idea is safe. And I mean, what you could do is you could swap it out for your regular items from Fountain or something. I mean, in these late game scenarios, I feel these crazy things, they do eventually come to fruition, while we miss Secret taking the next Roshan.
It just disappeared. There was no Roche. He just instantly dropped his items. He was like, I don't want to fight this, just take it and leave, please.
I mean, especially with this double damage, Bruno. Queuing up and... Well, I was thinking another move job, but it looks like it's going to be her first. And now the side of Secret, I think they finally feel confident enough to push into the round.
It's so risky though. So risky. I mean, it was risky for the final tribe to push, but the same could be said about trying to go on a sniper.
This game, it just feels like it could swing one way than another at absolutely any moment. And, you know, I'm looking at the buybacks. They have them on the sniper. They have them on one. But if you're able to kill off this Medusa or this Nature's Prophet, they're not coming back for a long while.
I feel like Secret should try to make a move with this Aegis. They don't really have to commit, just try to do something.
I mean, perhaps get rid of this tier 3 tower. You could definitely take that with just Medusa. Or even trees that they're actually sending towards the bottom lane.
I don't think the trees can kill it. They die way too fast. Just like one Sven hit and they all die.
No, they press the attack. Oh no, you're right. They didn't even make it to the high ground. Frost just able to cleave through them with that Daedalus.
I would totally just buy a Blade Mill on Sven. He just keeps getting destroyed by this Drow Ranger. He can't really right-click, so buying right-click items isn't that useful anymore. I feel like it might just be better to transition into magic damage Sven. Go for a Hex, buy a Dagon, that kind of stuff.
One upgrade I'm surprised we haven't seen yet over on mid one is he can get that Silver's Edge. That's a nice little chunk of stats for absolutely nothing.
Yeah, he has the money for it. I would be surprised to see him skip it, but I would probably buy a Moonshot first.
I mean, at this rate, Nisha might be able to buy it for him.
Nisha isn't that rich.
Oh, I mean, have you seen the spare items he has?
Yeah, but come on, he needs all of those.
Obviously, you're gonna swap in the Liquid Sphere exactly 5 seconds.
I mean,
before they hit you with a
they
single
can buy a
target
second
saber.
courier if they want to.
No, you can't. You can't do that anymore.
Doesn't it have a 60-minute recharge time?
Oh, no way. Does it actually?
I think so.
Can you check the shop? I knew they I thought they just took out second couriers infinitely, but I might be wrong about that. Can we have a look at the shop courier? If I'm on a Radiant Hero. No, okay, I don't know how to check it. We'll find out eventually.
I'll check the wiki real quick, just to make sure.
I mean, it's obviously the most important thing that's going to happen at this point. But actually, Secret, they are smoked over here. Yapsor, Blink Dagger, Aeon Disc has a Shadow Blade of his own. But it's actually just sitting in his backpack. He's taking lessons from Nisha. But they press the attack on the Super Creeps. It's more than enough to hold off these trees.
And it feels like nothing has happened ever since TFT took 2 sets of racks.
Yeah, Secret, they've successfully stalled out the game. With this Nature's Prophet Ags, they're pushing out the lanes. And they now have a 10k, I think probably the biggest lead we've seen this entire game.
Yeah, and I would still certainly favor TFT in a fight, but Secret is just so good at controlling the map. Just because of this bloody Drow Ranger aura combined with the Furion. It must be so frustrating for TFT to see this game slowly slipping away, because they can never find the fight they really want to.
I mean, the one thing I do have to say is I feel like neither side is getting that much stronger. I think they've pretty much peaked, haven't they?
There is a few upgrades left, but overall I agree with you.
But all they need to do is take down this tier 3 tower. Still can't believe it's alive on 19 health.
If you could spend like 1,000 gold to heal it by 200, would be great.
Now, you're thinking of... This is what always happens in Uber late game. You know, people come up with the crazy things. Like, can you buy extra inventory slots? Or, you know, like, can you... There's just crazy ideas, you know. If you buy a second Aghanim Scepter, you get the Alk effect on it, you know, and that kind of thing.
You know what would be great? If there was an option to just win the game for 20,000 gold. Because then games end a little bit earlier, because I get paid by game, not by hour, so...
So it's all about the money for you now, is it, Wigblade? I mean...
The passion has been gone for a long time. It's only for the money now.
Oh, they managed to successfully take this tower. They're not defending and the Treants do take it. They finally get that last bit of 19 damage and instantly mid one is going to take down these shrines. As well as Nisha looking for this other one on the bottom side of the map.
Right, so that's a pretty big deal for Secret, but at the same time, does it really change anything about the game? Probably not.
Also, I'm having a look at buyback status, and the only one who doesn't have it is Puppy. So that's worth noting that every single core except for Puppy is able to get back into this game. And Puppy talking for him once again. They're actually TPing onto them. They get the duel disabled, but it's not going to be quite enough. Mid one, he's focusing on the Frost, but it looks like there's not enough damage. Nisha with the ultimate, are they going to turn zone? He has managed to kill Frost, and he's going to be able to kill the Legion Commander. They've lost Puppy. He does have no buyback, but they lose the Sniper somewhere else. Sniper getting focused out by Yapsor, I think, with the use of that refresher. Did he get double fingered or just single fingered?
I think it was just one, just Evil 8 into finger and he died.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Puppy taking one for the team. Cive really cannot duel anyone anymore. He just doesn't have the damage. This is the problem when you don't find kills on Legion. Like, you hit for 500, but at this stage, in order to kill stuff, you need to hit for 1,000.
Yeah, I mean... They bought back on both the Sniper and the Sven. I think it's time Secret. Once they have buybacks online, they should look for an advantage, but they have managed to find Yapsor. They do pop his Aeons. This wasn't popped in last night. Pops the Ethereal Blade himself, but he's probably going to go down. They even commit one Black Hole. They're showing how desperate they are to get these kills. Again, he is a hero with buyback, but I think you might try and push off this. You need every advantage you can get. And Puppy, as we said before, doesn't have that buyback for a few seconds. Now it's back online and he certainly has the money for it.
Looks like he's trying to go for a Hex.
A duel over here onto Zai, and with Chessie on the back lines, they do have enough damage. Secret overstepping their mark and feeding away 2 kills now.
Right, Secret really needs to start being careful now. They have a really strong late game lineup, but they cannot give away kills like this. This is how you lose games where you shouldn't be losing games. This is where you need to reset, just wait for next Roche, assemble S5 and take it slow again. Like the moment you start losing heroes, you really need to reset. Don't go for any fancy plays, just play basic Dota, play super defensively and do the things that made you get to this position in the first place, which is just being super patient.
Yeah, it's a Secret. They still do have a 20k gold lead. They only had to pop the buyback only on Zai, so Yapsor as well as Puppy, the both support cell, have it if they need it. And everyone has boots of travel too. So it's like the whole team does have this global teleportation over on Nature's.
Right, so let's take another look at the buybacks. Looks like the only ones who don't have it are the Sniper, the Sven and the Pangolier. So it's still greatly favoring Secret. TFT could only manage to avoid a single one.
Yeah, it's just this uber late game. We are 77 minutes of the game here, and even though they have an 18k advantage, it does feel like the final tribe. If Secret aren't able to get on top of this sniper, they should be able to win the fights. But Yapsar's just done such a good job in the past few fights, using this finger, using his spells.
Look at the money on Hanskin.
Oh wow, what's he? He should buy moon shards for people, right?
I feel like he should buy an HUD and hide it somewhere near Secret's base, so they could try to go for a base race at some moment if they can force Glyph. Because at this stage of the game, the throne falls with backdoor protection. So
Yeah,
that's some win objective you could try to go for.
yes, Sniper and Sven with that God Strength. And finally it has happened. Nisha has purchased the first rapier of the game.
Finally. One thing
78.
that's actually gonna push really fast is the Enigma Eidolons. If they're left unchecked, you have 11 Eidolons that hit like 100 damage.
Yeah, but they have the Nature's Wrath as well as the Drow Aura, so I think they do eventually go down. Even to this result, and especially when Yapsor expends a finger on them. They're not going to live
That's
through
certainly an
that.
option.
Hanskin is looking for a pick-off here with the Shadow Blades, but Yapsor, after spending that finger, just runs away.
This opens up the Roche.
Once again. What number Roshan is this? Is it number 5 or 6? I've started to lose track.
It's a pretty high number. We're gonna get to a point where super creeps are actually stronger than mega creeps.
That doesn't happen anymore. They changed that.
Oh.
I know it's a great piece of information to know, but it was in a patch a while ago, like an obscure bit. But they mega creeps are always going to be.
Alright, then we're gonna get to a point where Roshan one-shots literally every single hero in the game, including Medusa.
Now, that is something that will happen. But the thing is, Drow is one of those few heroes who is always able to take Roshan because, you know, she just ignores armor totally.
That's true, but he also gets HP, right?
Yeah, but mid-one does a lot of damage. I mean, we'll see when we're on Roshan number 18, won't we?
Yeah, I mean, Roche is gonna have infinite HP and infinite damage, so kind of tough.
I mean, you know, someone who theoretically has infinite damage? I'm looking at the Legion Commander in this top lane. He's trying to get up to his old tricks, hoping he finds mid-one.
I mean, I feel like 290 is pretty low for infinite overall.
I mean, it's a theoretical infinite. The infinite scaling here.
It's actually second lowest in net worth now, that's so sad. I believe in you, Civi.
Yeah, I've actually switched to just looking at buybacks because I feel they're the most important. Net worth really doesn't tell us much at this point.
Except for that we should all pity Civi.
This Enigma is sitting on 16,000 gold. It looks like he is going for the 20k win the game that you took.
Yep, so it doesn't have a gem. It's gonna be a big deal.
Yeah, but Puppy's behind him. He could just Ethereal Blade Yapsor. As well as the Aeon Disc. I don't think he could get the kill over here.
I feel like the moment he would jump on a single hero, both teams would all use their BOT2s to TP to that hero. So you would see two heroes, but it would be a 5v5 fight.
Yeah, that's such a good point about, you know, there's just so much mobility, especially for the side of Secret, thanks to Boots of Travel 2 and Puppy's global teleportation. Just these waves, it feels like they haven't crossed the halfway mark since, like, I think about the 50-minute mark.
Yup, so it doesn't have his Aeon Disc in his inventory anymore, which could be significant. Means he can actually die to a duel or something similar.
Not to sound a bit too crazy, but do you know what the longest game of professional Dota was currently?
I think it's 3 hours, so we still have like a good hour left until you can start rapping and make your own claim to fame.
So I need the final tribe to hold on for another 2 hours and a half before I officially become OD picks.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, we have one more game after this. So
I'm sure they'll be thrilled to hear that they have to wait 3 hours.
just for my benefit of becoming the next big thing in casting.
Nisha also working towards the 20,000 gold. He's halfway there. Going for that I win button victory.
Okay, so there are clearly no items. There are no items anyone's waiting. So what is their objective? How do they intend to push? Because they can't just farm indefinitely. The game, you're not going to win the game doing that. At some point you do have to try to go high ground. But you've taken Roshan and you're not pushing. So I don't understand what they're waiting for.
The only thing they're waiting for is the other team to make a mistake. It's no longer about being good, it's about being patient. How long can you keep up your focus? How long can you not make mistakes? They're both pretty much in their ideal situation. They can't really change anything about this equilibrium. So what they're doing right now is just waiting for the other team to make a mistake. It sounds boring, it is boring, but it's what super late game Dota comes down to. I remember Envy was in that longest game ever, and they were in a similar position and they got impatient, so they got punished by the other team and ended up losing the game, even though they took mega creeps at like 40 minutes.
Okay, so I mean, I do see lines drawn on the map, but Secret, they just seem so happy. Like, they're taking Roshan just because it's there, but they're not doing anything with it. They're farming up the entire Radiant side of the map, and Final Tribe, they're just not allowed out of their base. A 28k gold lead here for Secret.
Yep. It would be kind of nice if somehow Zibe could get 6 slotted, because he still has some items he can improve upon. Like, he would love to have an MKB, he would love to have a refresher, he would love to have BOT2s and a moonshot. But you can't do that. Maybe Enigma can buy a moonshot for him, but at the same time, Enigma's buyback is 3.5k gold, and they can't really go to the secret shop. But it looks like something is gonna happen.
Yes, the Final Tribe, their patience, it has given up. They realize the Enigma, he has to be here to defend. If
And Secret is gonna realize this, because top is pushing in. We see
they're gonna realize something's
up.
up with all these lanes pushing in. You can't do this. All your waves are pushed in. They know there's a smoke going on, and they just have to return for the Final Tribe.
Yeah, and this is almost gonna cost them a tower. Just this attempt.
It is gonna cost them a tower. It looks like patience, not rewarded. Just their impatience absolutely punished here by the side of Secret without doing anything.
200 unhealable damage on the range tracks. Oh, this Treant? Is he... He gets another 30 damage. Oh my goodness, this is insane. Another 200 damage on the range tracks. Unhealable damage. This is incredible.
I'm gonna say, this is what I said they should have done previously when they had the advantage on the Final Tribe. Because I know it sounds stupid, and we are mocking at this point in time, but it is unhealable damage, and it does add to your map position.
Mid one.
But they're outside the base, mid one. They have the Hex, the Finger of Death, it's not quite enough. On the backline, Frost, he does get jeweled up. Hanskin, he misses with his first black hole. It doesn't matter, he has another. Nisha, he pops up, but this game might finally end. Zai leaping forward. Frost, is he able to make it back to his high ground? Ira, he's retreating away. They break the Lincoln Sphere over on Nisha, but Zai rolling through. Jesse, he's trying to escape with that BKB. Does he have enough damage over onto Nisha? But it looks like the side of the Final Tribe, they just want to make it back to their own high ground. And a very exciting fight, but all we lost was the Winter Wyvern.
You really cannot leave a base. They can't really find these jumps, because Secret is always gonna have vision. And Poppy is sitting very far up. But again,
and now they're actually pushing with the Medusa illusions. They force the glyph out for the Final Tribe. This is pretty big. Last tier 3 tower, mid one, as soon as this glyph ends, they are going to take it. So that's all tier 3s taken now for the side of Secret. And a full-on 40k net worth lead. I don't know if I've ever seen one bigger than this.
So this gives a huge seekening to opening to Secret, and I can 99% guarantee that they're not going to use it, because they're not going to take any risk. So they don't care that there's only one black hole and glyph is down, and all kinds of stuff. They're just gonna sit back, wait for TFT to get impatient, and try to do the same thing again.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. We've been trying to talk very seriously about the game, but I feel when Dota gets to this point, you kind of have to relax until something big happens. So, you know, I'm gonna ask you a fun question. You know, for like any hero that doesn't have an Aghanim Scepter, you want to come up with like an Aghanim's upgrade? You know, like the Sniper has one, the Winter Wyvern has one, but you know, what about someone like the Pangolier? The Pangolier, what would his Aghanim Scepter be?
Maybe chemo treatment, so he can stop being so cancerous.
Whoa, okay,
Honestly though, with all the nerfs on Pango, it's not that bad anymore. Like, he used to be super frustrating to play, but right now he just seems to be in a decent spot. Even though I would still like to see his RNG tuned down a little bit, like maybe cycling between Disarm and Silence, something like that. As for an Aghanims, maybe something like activating Rolling Thunder for a second when you swashbuckle, so you can like Rolling Thunder through people, something like that.
Yes, swashbuckles, stun on people guaranteed. That'd be pretty cool. Or actually, you could use swashbuckle in Rolling Thunder. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I'm just thinking about stuff for my favorite heroes. Like, I really love Ikewarden, so maybe with Aghanims you can make clones on your clone and crash games with ends finally.
Just infinite amount of Ikewarden. I'd be willing to give you a third one. You know, with like maybe 2 charges on the. I think infinite amount of clones is a tiny bit too far.
Have you ever seen Rubik steal Ikewarden ulti? It's amazing. Because he's 2 4-second lifts.
Oh wow, I don't think that's nothing I've ever seen, but it does certainly sound exciting.
Speaking about exciting, Roche is gonna drop again in less than 10 seconds.
I wanted to actually have a look at, you know, how much armor and health Roche had, but he was dead a bit too quickly before I could really take it in.
So at what point does all of Secret just buy an Adder Lance and a Meteor Hammer and just smoke up and just take one of the racks in one go? That's my question.
Does Meteor Hammer damage stack with other instances?
I don't
know if it does that.
So.
Well, actually, with the Aegis, I think they're not looking good.
But
I take it back.
Maybe Secret can just buy 5 Dagons and 5 Adder Lances and just smoke up and just zap one hero. Like, any hero dies to 5 Aegis is right.
Oh, they've managed to catch with a Hex over. The 4-star is going to be able to save the life of this Legion Commander for a little bit. And Zai's ulti ends and no real damage done to either team.
So it looks like everyone...
Oh, the hack! As well as the Ethereal made the finger, it's not quite enough. Jesse, he's going to live through it. Now they have stunned, they use the Refresher. They don't have the vision for Yasuo. It's all on the Winter Wyvern. Now Air comes out, they use the Jewel. As that Aeon Disc is down, they are going to be able to kill off Yasuo.
That's a big deal.
He was so close to killing off that sniper.
It's a medium deal, I suppose, because I don't feel like TFT is really gonna try something. If anything, it could provide an opening for Secret to find another pick-off.
Yeah, it looks like with the Lion dead, they know he has buybacks and boots of travel too. They're really hoping someone overextends.
He put the boots in his backpack and he's walking around with the gem.
But unfortunately, it doesn't seem like the side of the final tribe want to walk a bit too far outside their base and going back to their favorite position, the high ground. Handskip, by the way, does have, I think people are buying Necro books and swapping them back. Dive pops his BKB, trying to walk away. Is going to be okay. Zai doesn't land the bash.
So what if you could pay the pay 50k gold to make the next patch release? Like 7.22 is like 50k gold. That would be pretty cool.
I mean, I'd feel, sadly, you definitely have abusers, you know, saying, I'm going to play Jungle Battle Fury Alchemist. Not part of the game, but get this quick 50k gold.
No, I mean, only in, like, major matches, important ones.
Oh, okay, so the pro players have to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, Medusa would still have 20k net worth if she traded that 50k gold in.
It seems fair, honestly. Like, if this Medusa wasn't in the game, though, do you think that TFT would be able to push?
I mean, they would have another hero on the side of Secret. I do think, you know, if it was just another melee carry or something,
if he gets straight up removed right now, if Nisha just disappears from the face of the earth right now, you think Secret could still win?
I think 4v5, definitely the final tribe can do it. Because this Medusa is just so tanky and so much of their damage. Because if you only need to focus one damage dealer, you can definitely win the fight. But the issue is you focus mid 1 and Nisha's going to do the damage. You focus Nisha and mid 1 will do the damage. It's having this dual-headed snake that makes them so tough to beat.
Yep, so it hits quite hard too though, with the fingers.
He still only has 90 minutes in.
Yeah, it's like the same as the dual damage. If you're not snowballing, you don't really get these charges and damage. Also, just 13
we're halfway through.
And
we're halfway through to the longest game now. So, you know, they're doing their job. They know we just need to double the game length, and it's all gonna be okay.
So it looks like Zai...
They have the duel, they go in, they manage to find Zai, and is he going to be bursting time? Yes, he is. Nisha with the ultimate doesn't manage to turn anyone into stone. There is a gem sitting here, so just a nice pickup, but I don't think they're going to be able to push.
I'm quite surprised to see that Nisha hasn't bought a refresher yet. Like, not even in a stash. I feel like every single hero with 12,000 gold should have a refresher, just to be sure. It's also funny to note that every single hero on Secret, except for Yapsor, has a moonshot.
Oh, Yapsor, he's just missing out on the party. He needs to get one. He does have 10k gold. He could definitely afford one.
Yeah. Oh my god, those fingers, they're just beautiful.
What, you're just seeing them eliminate super creeps?
I wish I was in Yapsor's position and not only be a rich and successful pro player, but also hear the gold sound of when you kill an entire creep wave. It's just delicious.
I mean, I do remember I was hearing an interview with one kind of pro about the figure of death. It's not quite enough. I think just because of the press the attack. I think if they had the amplification of the Ethereal Blade, Frost might have gone down.
Or if Yapsor used refresher, but I think he was hesitant because he knew that Zivi was behind, so Frost would have been able to get off his BKB.
Yeah, I mean, with the cooldown only on at 20 seconds, you can use it to harass heroes.
Yeah, it's just an harassment tool. Right, 2 rapiers on Nisha, and at the same time, Zai just has a Maelstrom, not even a Mjolnir. What kind of pleb is he?
I mean, Zai definitely let the side down, not enough farm on him. He is running forward, he sees, but he's not going to commit forward for it, and he can't break the Lincoln.
Like in that situation, Yapsor could have killed Frost, but he didn't want to because it was too big of a risk, his team being nearby.
Oh, Yapsor, he sees Chassis, but he goes for the Hex over here. He misses Chassis, they need a little bit more damage, and they kill him. The Finger of Death, he does get the refresh, the stun. Is he going to go down? They buy back on the sniper, and Yapsor, he is going to be able to get that. Chassis, he's back into the fight. Frost, the burst onto mid one, it is a fair amount, but they're going to lose the sniper once again. Each of the backlines, they've lost the sniper, no buyback on him, and they're focusing down Frost. That's 3 dead and no buyback on the sniper. I think Secret might have finally blown this game wide open. Puppy, he has detection. Where is their gem? He's going to go for it. They have the vision. They have the control over here on Yapsor. Mid one with the silence. Is he able to purge it off? They are able to kill him off. They need a tiny bit more damage, and they do. All the meanwhile, Nisha is focusing at the base. They buy back on 4 heroes. Secret, you're 62k gold ahead. Are they going to push?
So impressive by Yapsor, dropping down to 100 HP, and instead of tipping back, he actually blinks in and gets off a Hex as well as a 2-man spike. Nerves of steel on this man.
I mean, he's responsible for killing this sniper this first time. Zibe, they don't have the detection. He uses the BKB tool. They managed to make it. They had no black hole. He's hexed up. This AoE hex is paying off. Zibe, he's dead as well. And now it is a 5 versus 3. So much damage. They have a buyback only on 1. And I think they've done it. Secret, they're going for the throne. GG is cool. And the final tribe are going to drop this game. 97 minutes in. Hanskin has a final black hole going down. Secret. Kill on mid 1.
Ultimately, even though this was super drawn out, it did go the way we expected. Just Prophet slowly pushing in lanes, taking over the map.